Hello and welcome everyone to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests and our lovely patrons to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined as always by my good friends and GVG co-founders, Steve Bowling and Ash Paulson, along with our very special guest, the first one of Season 2, SomeCallMeJohnny. Welcome, good sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Season 2? Oh, is
Yeah.
this where we are now? YouTubers have off seasons now? What are you, unionizing?
There's a whole lore behind it now, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
do tell.
We're in the middle of our heroes' journeys here now at GVG.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for inviting me once again. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Oh, we're happy to have you back, man. Thank you for being here.
Awesome.
But before we actually get into it, and I know this is a new thing because we're live for everyone now. That is the big change of Season 2. We're getting donations in, so I don't know, do we read those during this or not? It's hard to say, but for now I'll do that. But thank you, Rob Arman X, for your donation. I won't go into the specifics, but some folks like Go On Amber and Vedron couldn't make it to the premiere, but let's still get hype for TNT Season 2. And Adam O'Sullivan saying congratulations on the launch of Season 2. But along with them being extremely generous with their donations, we're also sponsored by the Game Orb. And the Game Orb is a fledgling channel focused mostly on Nintendo content. It's currently running Let's Plays of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Pac-Man 99, Splatoon 2, Smash Ultimate, and more. So be sure to subscribe to the Game Orb at the link in the description. We'll also be posting it into the chat right now. And we are continuing to push them to 250 subscribers. We're at 218 right now. I think we can make it to 250 by next week or soon, hopefully. But they also want to promote their friend's YouTube channel, Galactic Reaper. And again, that link will be in our description as well as chat. So thank you, as always, Game Orb, for that support. And thank
you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
How many people are here for this actual live show? It actually is today's News Tonight. So
and
we get to the news.
Yeah, we have, and I just posted the link to the Game Orb and Galactic Reaper for those of you in our YouTube chat, so please go on, show them some love, subscribe, show them the power of the GVG audience. Thank you all so much.
And Shellshock Prime saying, thank you for the amazing content. Great to see TNT live every night. Keep being awesome and pure bliss vibes for everyone. Heck yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. It means a lot. We've worked pretty hard to get here. So, like you said, though, Derek, we got news, right?
We do. There's a bit of news to talk about. And let's talk about something that's hopeful. Please let this be a thing. So let's go ahead and bring that up. Nintendo President Furukawa has stated in a recent interview that they are looking into animation beyond the Mario movie. This was an interview with Fast Company, and on the Mario project itself, it says, it's not that we've asked Illumination to handle everything. Mr. Miyamoto is very, very hands-on with the production of the movie. But looking towards the future, Furukawa did tease that something saying animation in general is something that we are looking into, and not just this franchise. And that's not too much of a surprise because we've seen them do animation for the Link versus Pit's Palutena reveal trailer, as well as those Pikmin shorts. So this is kind of within the realm of their, within their real wheelhouse.
Man,
yes, please. I'll take all of it.
Yes. Yep. The more we can get alternative media from Nintendo, alternative being traditional animation in this case, the happier I am. I've liked every single animated thing Nintendo has been involved with or put out. So yeah, I'm excited for the Mario movie by Illumination. I'm excited to see what else they do. And like you said, if the folks that did that amazing Palutena versus Link animation get to do anything else, I will be hyped as fuck for this.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that specifically. I still am just harboring some kind of false hope for a Smash Brothers anime, just completely predicated on that Palutena reveal trailer. But just seeing Link and Pit fight is cool enough. But just the thought of expanding that to the whole roster in an animation sense, never going to happen. But my God, would that be hype as hell?
The idea that Miyamoto is so hands-on with this movie doesn't really come as any surprise, because I think for their first outing ever, everyone mentions the live-action Mario Bros. Movie. That was that was half a century ago or some other thing. I think we can move on from that, but I think he doesn't want a repeat of that. So I'm hoping that him being so hands-on means that it's not just like an hour and a half of Mario just going from World 1-1 to World 8-4 and just rescuing the princess and that's it. There's no substance whatsoever. You might as well be watching a Let's Play of Mario Brothers 1. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I know people, well, at least some folks in my circle were making kind of a stink because Illumination was the Minions folks, right? I never watched.
Yep. Oh God.
Yeah, see, exactly. That's my point. You know, people are just kind of like, oh, no, Mario's gonna do the Minion stuff, and I was like, no, I don't really think so. It just means like you got to really. I mean, for what it's worth, the movies looked fantastic in terms of animation. So I'm thinking that no, this has a lot of promise, and hopefully things work out in the end so that we get our, like you guys said, a Zelda movie and dare I hope Metroid movie. That's probably like, I don't know, 3 centuries down the road, but you know, a man can dream. A man can dream.
I mean, Derek, this reminds me of when, we were talking about the Castlevania Season 4 trailer recently and how it seemed like they're setting up for other, parts of the timeline. I'm just sitting over here thinking, as great as they've done with Castlevania, let's get it. Zelda's ripe for that, man. You get a season of telling one story for, Ocarina of Time, then another Zelda, there's so much potential in Nintendo animation. And I want it all. I want it all. I'm being greedy.
I mean, we did get just a more animation. Kid Icarus got those 3 shorts as well. Like Nintendo's done a bunch of animation over the years,
and they were actually pretty good.
They're all just kind of delightful. I don't think any of them's been particularly bad, but they've all been shorts, and I think that's the tricky part. How do you turn these into a more long form? Like if I was doing Zelda anime, for example, like you were thinking, Ash, make it Ocarina of Time, that had to be 2 seasons. Just the way animation is sort of played up, where it's typically 10 episodes. I feel like it would need a little bit more for setup and the eventual payoff. But there's a lot they could do just with all their various animation projects, and who knows what they'd actually like. What would be next? Zelda is probably the big one, but that feels almost hard. In some ways, it feels harder to adapt than even Mario.
Well, I think by virtue, I was gonna say by virtue of there just being more to work with in terms of world building and I guess lore. Yeah, I would say lore is the right word to use because you have like the whole medallions, the pendants, the 3 goddesses, the Gerudos. There's a lot more to work with Zelda than there is Mario, and yeah, I do not envy whatever writer or producer has to work with a Zelda movie to make a good first impression, but man, that is super exciting just to think about.
But Snoopy in our live audience chat raises a very important question. Would Link get a voice in a Legend of Zelda animation project? Yes. That's the tough part. Who do you I think he would too, but who do you get to voice someone who up to this point has mainly just gone hot shit? Like, who do you hire for that?
I mean, that's technically enough right there. You should audition right now.
There you go. All right. I thanks.
I saw on Twitter somebody found the Link's voice actor, is Japanese, and had him like with other roles. So listen to his voice, which was basically the Link voice, and it was very weird, like actually hearing those, like not yas and have full But for me, it still kind of worked. You can still kind of see it, and Link has a voice in other mediums. Like we've seen it with the manga, we've seen it with the Nintendo Power adaptation. Like he typically, like when there's more story involved, then it's not just gameplay sense. Link gets a voice. So Oh, go ahead, Steve.
My main concern isn't so much about Link having an actual voice, but how do you write Link as a character? Because he is kind of a blank slate, like it or not, a blank Sheikah slate, if you will, or Sheikah slate. But
he is in some incarnations, not all. Yeah. I mean, like I feel like you could more easily write like Wind Waker Link, like Hero of Wind's Link, than you could like Zelda 1 Link, right? Like he is a blank slate. At least for some versions of Link. Like Ocarina of Time Link, even he has a bit of a backstory, and so they're just you could conjure a little bit of one. Yeah, it varies by Link, I guess, right?
Yeah,
let's say Ocarina of Time is basically blank slate with a backstory, but he's still blank.
Yeah,
slate.
That's true. Yeah. He's still a blank slate. Yeah.
Yeah, like characters react around Link, and Link doesn't really. Link is like, I'm here with the pointy thing to kill the bad thing, and then you guys do all the expositional dialogue. Thanks. So,
right.
I would love to see Link as an actual character. I think he should be that way in the games, but I'm probably in the minority on that one.
She says in the YouTube chat saying, "I would have Link be shorter on words, but just talk enough that so that he isn't awkwardly being fed exposition where somebody's just talking to him."
Yeah, I could agree with that. I actually, really quick, I did like in Breath of the Wild how they explained away that Link just doesn't talk. Like, he underwent trauma and basically was just a mute after that. And I was like, oh, it's kind of cool that they at least explain it so it's not really weird since everyone else is talking.
So I'm not sure
Sorry
if you're looking at the chat,
okay, you got it.
Steve, but they are saying your mic is a bit loud at the moment.
How am I the loud one? I have the quiet.
I know, right?
It's apparently it's like you just can't contain that excitement. Cool. It's just too much.
There's too much going on.
But yeah, I think the fun part of this kind of story is like imagining just what else we could get and where they go next. And yeah, just have to.
There are a lot of people pointing out in both chats saying, "Excuse me, princess." He could just get that guy back
or we could just not.
Or we could not. I like that idea more.
Gotta move on. That was like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Really was.
Most of us were babies. Most of the people in the chat.
We were approaching the 40th anniversary, that sort of thing. That is. Oof.
Well, if ever there was a time to move on from that conversation, I think that's it, man. Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about. Go from links to locks. I'll go for that transition.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
All right. So the most recent Animal Crossing update has been discovered to have a bit of a problem if you're looking to get every item in the game, specifically the Mayday items, because it locks new players out of earning the new Mayday item that comes out. Basically, as pointed out by Abdallah Smash, there's a photo that you get by participating in Mayday that you... How do I put this? Because I don't play it a lot. Basically, Mayday involves you going through a hedge maze. Once you're through with it, Rover gives a briefcase to those who participated for the first time. But if you completed Mayday last year, you'll instead receive a photo of the character instead. However, if this is your first time, you'll get the briefcase instead. So there's no way for you to get the new item. So some are saying like, hey, don't update quite yet. Roll back your clock. Do Mayday last year. Roll back the clock forward or roll forward the clock and then be able to get your item. That said, looking at this, I have to imagine that next year it'll be the same reward. It'll just be continually be the next thing. But how do you guys feel?
The term Mayday feels awfully appropriate for this kind of story.
Yeah.
I can't really say much of this because, believe it or not, as much as I loved New Leaf on the 3DS, I still have not bought New Horizons on Switch.
I'm in that same exact boat with you, man. I just kind of maxed out on Animal Crossing with New Leaf. I love that people are still loving it, but I can't. Yeah, I'm just kind of over it.
I just have no time to invest in it, and from what I've heard from folks that did manage to get it like day one, they spent the last year just playing it. It has issues that still require addressing even after almost a year of release, and that just kind of puts me off from just even like thinking about it. So I don't know. I'm thinking unless something major happens to it to increase replayability, just increase the relaxation vibe of it, I might just skip on this one.
I'm definitely going to do it. Rover's my favorite Animal Crossing character of all time. So any chance I get to see him, I'm taking it. But this is kind of a weird oversight, I guess. For folks that picked up the game after May, but I imagine Nintendo's going to find some way to address this, some weird kind of like, oh hey, we'll send you the item in the mail or something like that. They'll come up with something. But I mean, even if they don't, Animal Crossing is not the most unhacked game on the Switch, if you will. So I guarantee you there will be people just dropping these Mayday items all over other people's islands, and you'll find some way to get it, whether you play Mayday by rolling back your clock or not. But I would wager that Nintendo will respond to this and fix it, because frankly with Animal Crossing they've done a pretty good job about doing that, especially since this is kind of their first foot in the door with a lot of people. A lot of folks picked up a Switch and this game, and it's the first time they've interacted with Nintendo maybe in their entire lives, or maybe since the 80s in the case of my mom. So I think they want to make that good second impression, if you will.
Yeah, as someone who hasn't played a lot of New Horizons, I was just kind of under the impression that there were lots of seasonally available items that otherwise were not available, that there were limited windows of opportunity to get certain items. So I didn't realize Nintendo had done such a good job making sure that people can still access all the game's content, regardless of whether they originated in seasonal events or not. That's great.
Dude, to be clear, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that there is seasonal content. What I'm saying is they have to be aware that they've set up this kind of weird scenario where you can't possibly get the new item, and that will upset some folks, and that they'll probably find a way for those affected folks to get that item.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, at least at the end of the day, this only does affect one single item. It's, obviously how much this matters is going to vary from player to player, but at least the scope of the issue could be bigger.
Right. Yeah. I think you can also get, is the photo, I'm not super familiar with the story, is the photo of Rover?
I assume
you can get that by scanning his amiibo. Like that's an item you can get in a different.
I'm not saying here that it's just a photo. Who cares? I mean, obviously collecting crap is the whole point of Animal Crossing to some degree, but
there's someone out there.
It might
for
just
whom
be a
this
photo
is
of you,
everything.
Derek. It is a shrine to the 100% player.
How utterly terrifying would that be if an Animal Crossing character gave you a photo and it was a photo of yourself?
Right?
Like they're like, hey, take this picture, and it's just you like sitting in your room playing the game at that exact moment, but like from a window.
Turns the webcam on.
You see Shuntaru Furukawa running out your backyard.
Oh my God.
After him, get him. Tell him about what's the next animated project.
Yeah. Tackle him.
Yeah,
ask him where the Switch Pro is.
The Animal Crossing game on in Nintendo Land. Tackle him like that.
Ask him who the last Smash characters are. Tell me now.
Oh my God, no.
Oh man.
Oh goodness. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next story, which will just be a snap.
Cute. I love it.
All right, so new Pokemon Snap obviously released this past Friday, and it already seems to be doing pretty well as the physical sales in the UK, because there seems to be the only ones that have actually put out this data, at least so far, are projecting to be 4 times that of the N64 original, and that's only the physical sales. That does not include digital. Yeah, I'd say this, based on just the UK, this seems to be a hit.
It sure does.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like I haven't gotten it myself, but I've friends that do have it. I've been simply enjoying the time of their lives with it, and that's great. I didn't think this game needed to do much beyond, just be a prettier Pokemon Snap with a greater roster of Pokemon. And from what I understand, it just does that perfectly. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's good. I'm looking forward to it at some point, because I did enjoy my time with the original N64 game. Just a matter of do I have the time to put this in my schedule? But exactly. I'm glad first impressions are stellar.
And not that it needs to be like stated, but it just underscores the raw power of Pokemon, because new Pokemon Snap barely got any marketing leading up to launch, right? Like it almost just dropped out of thin air. There were obviously, there were a couple of like trailers leading up to release, but it wasn't trumpeted. It wasn't like a hugely trumpeted leading up to release. So the fact that it's doing this well regardless just underscores that, how unstoppable Pokemon is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to say, I've been playing new Pokemon Snap, and while I find it enjoyable, it's not doing a lot for me. I'm playing it, and I think my biggest issue is because everyone that I talked to before I had it was telling me how amazing and gorgeous and incredible it looks, and everyone knows that I'm like really critical on graphics. Like when I'm playing a game, I just notice every little imperfection, and I'm like, this game does not look all that great to me. It looks okay. Mm-hmm. It's fun if you divorce yourself from the notion of analyzing it as a video game and you just play it in a non-critical way. I think it can be very enjoyable. And somewhere I will be posting a video about how to print out the pictures. I bought all the shit for it, but I haven't yet put all that together. But I did print out some of my Pokemon pictures, and I think that was almost, to me, more delightful than playing the game in a weird way. I was like, oh, look, I got a picture of a Grookey, like a real photo. And I liked that. But I
that
would say
video should end with you printing out a picture of Rover from Animal Crossing and then just wink at the camera, and then
There
that's
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, Animal Crossing Snap. That would drive like
Believe it or
crazy.
not,
Yeah.
you absolutely can do that with the same tools required to print the Pokemon Snap photos, and the app that does that has Animal Crossing frames built in. So yeah, I'm absolutely doing
Nice.
that.
I'll get around to playing it at some point. I'm just not. I liked the original Pokemon Snap. It just didn't, grab me like it did so many other people. But I'm curious enough. I'm in no rush, but I'll check it out at some point.
Yeah, I should have the. My goal has been to try to play this as much as I can, which is always kind of difficult with me for me. Baby, this week because hey, Resident Evil Village comes out on Friday. I kind of need to be done with this review.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I played the demo today, and man, do I like that demo.
Oh, that demo's real good. But I've been really enjoying Pokemon Snap. It is just a full, relaxing game, and the review should be out this week. I can say that for sure. But it's not perfect, but it is a good update to the original with some smart additions. And there's a lot more gameplay to enjoy here if you want to do everything. It's pretty ingenious how some of the ways they kind of interconnect some things and get you to do a lot, but it's also like, boy, you have to replay these levels a lot if you want to get everything. And that might be some of the turnoffs right there. So there's definitely some good points, definitely some issues, depending on how you play this. But just for example, the two ways people can play it, like I go through, I just enjoy taking pictures, getting points, see if I can line up the best shots, see what I can unlock, take pictures of every Pokemon. When Amy plays it, when I have to do something else, she is meticulous with those photos. She'll find her favorites, realign them, get them just right, so she can post them, and just can spend so much longer on that than I'd bother. And it's cool to see those two different aspects of the gameplay kind of converge. Like depending on the person, you can totally get that kind of enjoyment depending on what your play style is.
Mm-hmm. This has nothing to do with new Pokemon Snap, but it made me laugh quite a bit. Eduardo Tena in our patron chat says, "Can't wait for Lady Dimitris to step on my head." That's all. This has nothing to do with Resident Evil. It just made me laugh, and I wanted to point that out.
Stay horny, Eduardo. Stay horny.
You have trouble getting to Resident Evil Village, John?
Too good.
Oh God, it's out already.
Wait, one more time?
You were like, oh God, Resident Evil Village. I'm guessing that's no time to play it, or
I lost track of when it was coming out. That was like, no, of course I'm playing this night one because I've been looking forward to this. I just like after the move, I days have been a blur, basically, and I don't know where I am anymore. So hopefully, in my journey of self-reflection, copy of Resident Evil 8 will be waiting for me at the end of the tunnel. So, oh my God, I didn't realize it was this weekend. No, I've not touched any demo.
Fortunately, it's still available, so you can still get your hour of the demo in.
Yeah, I think
right.
I mean, is
Actually,
there a benefit to playing the demo before the main game? Can I just jump into the main game? Yeah, I was gonna say I'll just wait into the main game.
I mean, if you're playing on PC, they found a way to take off the time limit, so there's that.
Oh,
yeah.
Did they really? I hadn't heard about that.
I mean,
That's funny.
it's hard to shut down for them because you're not going to spend, depending on how much you explore, neither one takes that much more than 30 minutes to go. Like I finished the castle demo in about 20 minutes, even taking my time, and I finished. I had to replay it, but I'd say the 35 minutes for the village.
I'm so bad at Resident Evil that I was walking around. One, I will say this. It did not scare me nearly as much as I expected it to. I just started the castle demo, and I was walking around, and I was more like oohing and awing at the incredible graphics. I was just like, wow, I can read the labels on the bottles of wine in this place. So I'm clearly not playing it right to begin with. But then there's a very simple puzzle, which you have to open a door by inserting like an eyeball into the door. And as soon as I get on the other side, one of the witches is there, but she's like, I don't know what it was, like a bunch of bats or mosquitoes or something. Bugs. Yeah, nasty as hell. And she just straight up killed my ass. I was like trying to shoot her. I was trying to stab her.
Yeah, you need to run.
Yeah, I learned that. Ethan runs very slow. He's like just taking a mild jog. He's like, scary bitch behind me. Just gonna.
He takes his time.
Don't want to
Yeah.
wind myself getting away from her though.
Yeah.
I would have been like kicking doors, and he's like, "Oh, well, this one's locked. I can't go there." I'd be, "Come on, let me in. I have a gun. I'm gonna shoot the doorknob off."
That's how I always felt when playing like Silent Hill games. Like most of the player characters in Silent Hill games, just kind of their run is kind of like a light jog, and but you have these abominations, these horrific creatures trying to get you, and it's like, I'm just gonna lightly jog away. It's all good.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, these are the calmest people in the universe.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, but I'm really looking forward to playing it. But hey, good on new Pokemon Snap, getting that in there.
Absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out on top, new Pokemon Snap or Resident Evil Village, as far as like the mind share. Because right now it seems like Pokemon Snap's kind of a lot of people talking on Twitter. So that's cool.
Yeah. I think once RE8 hits, it's probably going to shift heavily in RE8's favor. But I mean, new Pokemon Snap, especially if they have DLC for it, or they have post-launch content for it, it may stay in the conversation going forward. I really like the way Charlie Bird here in the chat, in the patron chat, thinks, waiting for Ash to propose a Mega Man Snap. Dude, I would love. I don't even know exactly how that would work, but I like the idea.
Gutsman trying to do construction work. Like, here, get your picture.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it'd be cool to see the different industrial robots, right? Actually, like, just fulfilling their roles in everyday life. Like, Magma Man heating hot tubs for Dr. Light and whatever. That actually happens in Mega Man 9's ending. I'm telling you, man, it's weird. So actually, I could see something. There's an idea here.
Woman actually getting her picture taken at the end.
She is actually, good point.
Yeah,
Flash Woman is getting
her
picture taken. Perfect.
Mega Man Snap.
Charlie Bird, let's do it. Go pitch it to Capcom right now, man.
All right. Well, it's time for a just weird ass saga of. We've reached the day. There's a lot of weird things that come out of this, but let's go ahead and bring it up first. So, Epic versus Apple has started today, and there's been a lot of weird developments all related to this. Actually, a lot of stuff not related to this, because for some reason, court documents got, I not leaked, but just sort of revealed as far as what got pulled, and people could go ahead and grab it. And it's okay, weird. So the first one, I have no idea what this has to do with Epic versus Apple, but court documents have revealed that Microsoft's has revealed Microsoft's internal thoughts on The Last of Us Part 2, basically saying, yeah, this is really good. And they said, Last of Us Part 2 is the exceedingly rare video game where what it accomplishes in moving forward the art of narrative storytelling in video games as a medium ultimately outweighs whether or not everyone likes it or even has fun playing it. That say, we loved it, had a great time playing it, and find ourselves still thinking about its characters and stories even after finishing the playthrough. It says the visual quality and attention to detail in The Last of Us Part 2 is absolutely best in class in basically every area, and the overall presentation is significantly ahead of anything that other teams have been producing on console and PC. We were frequently stunned by the quality of the game's visuals, something that sadly seldom happens these days. It's even more impressive considering the fact that the game features 2 separate player characters with different groups of allies in different locations, along with flashback sequences taking place years before. The verdict goes on to highlight the game's narrative-driven walking chapters, according to this article. And I think they did have a critique about the fact that, here it is. Naughty Dog still can't seem to make decent gun combat in any of their games, and this one is no exception. Luckily for them, it fits with the game's overall theme and pushes the player towards using stealth over head-on. So it's kind of interesting to see another company review another competition like this.
And there's a specific part... Oh, go ahead, John.
Go ahead. No, it's like, is this for their board members, or like who is this review for? That's what I'm kind of confused on.
Right. I think it was just kind of for their own internal review in terms of, I guess, what they want to shoot for in their own first party development. I don't know if they're going to do that. I can't quite see. I don't know. It would be weird to see Microsoft producing a game like The Last of Us Part 2, but maybe that's just kind of what they're underlining are their own goals internally.
Mm-hmm. This is written by its GGPD portfolio team. I don't know what that stands for.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I imagine that stuff like this happens all the time in the industry, and
Oh, no doubt.
it's just one of those closed door kind of activities. I mean, if you see a game that's highly successful, and you're a platform holder, you're probably going to commission a team to break down that game and figure out what works and what doesn't, and see if you can copy it.
I'm sure they did the same for like Breath of the Wild. We just never heard about it.
Oh
right?
yeah,
like sure they did.
Before, look at Dead Space soon after. Like oh holy crap, this is a revelation. We need to do that, and there you go.
There's one part of this internal review that really stands out to me that I want to highlight, and that is it's the final little graph here that the player doesn't have the ability to greatly influence or determine the outcome of the narrative might prove anathema to many players. However, we would argue that not every video game must be about the player role-playing their character's story, and I love that conclusion because you don't. It's okay to have just a linear guided experience when you're following a bespoke character story. And I've mentioned a little bit about that before, but I'm glad that was a point that they derived from their internal review because, you don't have to be in the character's shoes and have to affect the game world for a game to be really compelling, in my opinion.
I'm seeing
like you could be taken along for the ride, but it doesn't necessarily make you the one in control.
Exactly.
I think that's a good way of putting it. What were you saying, Dark?
I was just saying, I'm seeing so many people in chat saying, why did this come out because of the Epic versus Apple thing?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's
really weird.
What has to mean. Also, Toonjay in the chat says GGPD equals Global Gaming Partnership and Development. So there's what that stands for. I don't know why this came up because of those court docs, but it is a sort of a fascinating peek behind the curtain.
It really is. And but it's just weird that it came out as part of this.
Nobody knows how to sort files inside a desktop. Over there.
It's like, this will be needed. Sure, why
not? Epic versus Apple. All right, review of Last of Us 2 internal. There we go.
And this is not part of the stories, but Frequent Positron in our Discord chat does mention the Samus skin, though, for Fortnite. So it does look like at some point Samus might have been tried to be done for Fortnite as one of those special characters, kind of like Lara Croft, Aloy, Street Fighter, Ryu and Chun-Li and all that. But I don't think Nintendo must not have given final approval because it also, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it looks a lot darker than other Fortnite skins.
It does. It was kind of weird. Like it was very run very counter to Fortnite's usual art style.
Yeah,
that is
space is no joke, man.
Yeah. Oh goodness. But let's continue the craziness of this trial, revealing things that, for some reason. And another document has divulged just how much Sony did not like the idea of crossplay on the PlayStation 4. This is via The Verge. And basically, in the months leading up to Sony's decision to block Fortnite crossplay in 2018, Epic Games had pleaded with Sony to enable it, and there was emails between them that was revealed during this whole Epic versus Apple case. And they said Epic's vice president of business development, Joe Craner, said, "I can't think of a scenario where Epic doesn't get what we want." That possibility went out the door when Fortnite became the biggest game on PlayStation. So Epic's definitely like, hey, we know we have the power to throw this around and we should. And he actually proposed, we announced crossplay in conjunction with Sony. Epic goes out of its way to make Sony look like heroes. They even offered it the brand as E3 presence with PlayStation or add unique heroes exclusive to PlayStation Plus subscribers to sweeten the deal. Let's make this a huge win for us all. Epic's not changing its mind on the issue, so let's just agree on it now. But Sony didn't agree. According to this, Gio Corsi, Sony's senior director of developer relations at the time, dismissed the idea of crossplay, noting that the cross-platform play is not a slam dunk no matter the size of the title. As you know, many companies are exploring this idea, and not a single one can explain how cross-console play improves the PlayStation business. But apparently, according as of August 2019, it appears Sony might have found a worthy argument, a way to potentially siphon off money from its competitors in exchange for access to PlayStation players. It doesn't say where it actually ended up, but of course, we all know that Sony did say no crossplay until, a big stink was raised and like, all right, we'll allow crossplay for Fortnite and a few other games. But
I mean, obviously, it expectedly coming down to the revenue. It's the bottom line. It's all money talk. It's all coming down to Sony asking, how does this help our bottom line? And if they think it doesn't, then they're not looking at this from the gameplay perspective. Oh, how cool would it be? I want to be able to play with my friends on other platforms. They don't care. They just want to be able to monetize it.
So I read both of those emails in full, and holy shit, the audacity coming from the Epic. I mean, Sony has a bad position on this, right? But I mean, it reads like, oh yeah, you know where your bread is buttered, and you're going to take this deal whether you like it or not. Like I think it opened with something like, this was, maybe your argument was valid before we were the best-selling game on PSN or something like that. Like it just like he just. I mean, he didn't even like pat him on the head before he punched him in the face. He just went right for it.
It's so presumptuous. It's so presumptuous. Yeah.
I think one of the exact quotes was, "I don't see any way that we don't get what we want," or something like that. And I was like, God. Damn. I mean,
Epic is far up their own ass. Like they just like we have a license to do whatever we want.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about this legal battle several times here on Today's News Tonight, and I've always said it. We've all always said that there's not a good guy in this fight. There just isn't. No. So it's just two bad guys trying to take each other out, and that's fine. Like when I read this, I was like, this is very in character.
Let it burn. Just let it all burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then do orange justice on the ashes.
I mean, no matter who wins this Battle of the Titans, we all pretty much lose. We're not going to see any of the fruits of what's going on here. As you said, there are no good guys in this court fight.
Yeah. Although I will say the one good thing that came out of it is that Epic strong-armed Sony into allowing crossplay. Basically.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, thank you, Fortnite, I suppose.
And obviously, this is just their bottom line talking, but
because because on one hand, you know it's just because they want to make sure that everybody has access to Fortnite. Like, they just want those numbers to go up. At the same time, though, the idea of crossplay just being available is just something to have for all communities. It's never really a good idea to just lock one player base behind one console, and the PlayStation players should only be playing with PlayStation players. It's like, that's stupid.
It sucks.
Yep.
It's
awfully limited.
It's such a shitty position to take. And again, I know it's for them, it's all about their bottom line, but when they are continuously the lone holdout and are the ones that have to be pushed into supporting crossplay, when Nintendo and Microsoft and often PC, Steam are all too happy to do that. Mm-hmm. It's just so frustrating to see that holding PlayStation alone back, and they're doing it to themselves.
Oh yeah. But hey, they kind of won this fight. I mean, PlayStation is far more open to crossplay now than they were, and probably thanks to Fortnite, being dicks about it. how we ended up getting it.
Like we did it for Fortnite, why not us?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm kind of okay with that. I'm okay with one company leveraging their financial position over another to give, even though their heart is completely in the wrong place on it, we end up getting what we want. And I'm okay with that because if a corporation
you could be less of a dick about it, though.
yeah, you could have been. They could have said, "Hey, we're gonna." I mean, they could have given him the proverbial pat on the head before that punch in the face. But you know what? It's a corporation versus a corporation. I'm okay if they fight dirty. It's fine.
Yeah.
Use those tactics against each other, not against your customers, please and thank you.
Right.
Well, who's up for some more shenanigans?
This is hilarious. I love this.
I do love this one.
Fortnite players actually discovered a way to use their microphones during the Epic versus Apple conference and basically proceeded to troll the proceeding. They used it to play Travis Scott music and other stuff. Basically, they're like, I don't even know. I don't know. It's just like, I think the whole court thing got delayed because they had to try to find a way to fix that.
Funny. It's not even that hard. Courts, for those of you that don't know, are using Zoom. Zoom is like the video conferencing app du jour for everyone that is not, gaming, apparently. And some who are. I saw a Jackbox stream that used Zoom. But Zoom is incredibly simple to lock down. It takes a very cursory knowledge of how to mess with settings for things to say, like, hey, don't let people in without a password. It's that simple. And then you just email the password to the people involved. Or, you know, you could mute people. You could just kick people out. It's not a difficult thing to do. I literally run Zoom as part of my day job. So, I don't know. Call me, I guess. I'll help you.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those that, you know, one of those common sense really isn't that common things. I mean, all that would require is a working knowledge of just how to use a platform like Zoom. As you were saying, Steve, it's not as though you need to be a tech wizard to protect your Zoom meetings. You can do that without having deep knowledge of the inner workings of Zoom.
I like to imagine like a room full of people with a combined like decades worth of collegiate knowledge staring at this Zoom and like some 12-year-old Fortnite kid blasting Travis Scott, and they're like, we can't stop him. None of our education has prepared us.
This is impossible.
He's defeated the justice system. Yeah. I'm going to go get a Big Mac.
About time somebody did it.
Yeah, a child shall lead them. Well, hold on. It's like a 12-year-old stopping like a big corporation. That's literally the plot of Metal Gear Acid 2. I just thought of that actually. Hold on.
Kojima yet again. Predicting the future, man. God,
it's really on his game.
Yeah. Oh man, I
take that. It's just such a weird thing.
Yeah.
But sure, why not? As we've seen, nothing about this case really makes sense, and we'll see who actually comes out on top. I have a feeling even more documents and stuff like this will probably come out as the days go by. I
think this is going to get spicier and spicier before it ends.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to the fireworks. Not going to lie.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which we'll just stick with PlayStation, I guess, because PlayStation has announced that they are partnering with Discord and has purchased a minor stake in the company. So you thought it was me, Microsoft, buying Discord, but no.
Yeah.
It was PlayStation.
The timing of this is so odd, given all the whispers recently about the whole Microsoft potentially trying to buy out Discord thing. So the only thing is, okay, and I know that, you know, the fact that PlayStation did do this doesn't change the fact that Nintendo wouldn't have anyway. But god damn it, I wish it was Nintendo, because they're the ones who need it. You know, it's just an actual like integrated chat, like voice chat solution for Nintendo platforms would be so welcome. But Nintendo is never going to do that anyway, so I can't. You know, it's lamentable, but
never going to
doesn't change anything.
Yeah. And what is it? It's strictly just a family-friendly projection about it. Is that what it is? It's like they don't want to take any sort of risk.
Right.
Yeah, they're so risk-averse. Yeah. Especially when it comes to voice chat.
Right. This is just a minority stake, though. Nintendo could still invest in Discord.
They still could.
What I like about this, and why I wish Nintendo would get in on this, is I particularly am a fan of the fact that in Discord, where I tend to exist most of the day,
right?
With Xbox, I can link my Discord account, and people can see like what I'm playing on my Xbox. I know it's a silly little feature, but I think it's really neat that it's integrated that way. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that PlayStation gets that too, because I play a lot more PlayStation than Xbox. And I would love to see that extend to all my various gaming platforms, so that on Discord I could just, you know, somebody goes to IM me, they could be like, oh, Steve's off playing Returnal. That he's probably not going to answer me
again.
Yeah, right.
Steve is on his 48th run of Returnal and has had to head to GameStop to buy a new DualSense because of it. But no, it is not that frustrating. But I anticipate someday, out of sheer like twitchy tension, I will eventually break a trigger. But it's a great game, fantastic game. I just suck.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Have you run into that saving issue that's kind of become a bit of a talking point?
Not yet. So I did our review in progress video, and then I stopped playing because I have to prepare for our review of Famicom Detective Club.
Yes.
So that is kind of my priority right now. That's the game I'm playing the most of. I have finished, for those of you wanting an update that watched our preview, that listened to all 45 minutes of that preview. I have finished The Missing Heir, and now I am playing the girl who stands behind. And
nice. I'm right behind you, Steve.
Yeah, I have a flight on Wednesday, and I'm hoping I can just power through the game on that flight.
Nice.
Because it's not a super long game, and I've kind of made some headway. I definitely have thoughts about how the two differ. That'll be interesting to talk about in the review.
I'm really curious because you and I have been kind of comparing notes privately in Discord, and I'm very curious because I think I probably have an hour left of The Girl Who Stands Behind, and then I'm going to, around that, I'm closing in on the very end, then I'm going to switch right to The Missing Heir so we can talk about both on our review.
Yeah,
but
my hope is that what I can do, my hope, and not promising anything, is that I'll beat yours, and then I'll go back and get the Famicom version and just, so I can grab some quick footage of like, what did this that I look like that I've, what did it look like in 1988? Because I'm very curious about that now. And I have a sneaking suspicion, because I know the release order, that your game benefited from some major graphical
I think
updates.
so, because it came out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Learn more.
I have peeped a little footage on YouTube just to kind of see what it looked like, and it's interesting to see the evolution visually.
Oh, see, I'm going completely blind. I played through the first game. I'm playing through yours next, and I'm just gonna get through them the way they are in 2021, and then go backwards and see what
Nice.
exactly they had to work from.
Yeah,
I suspect not much.
right.
But yeah, as far as what this actually means, I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, Sony has not outright bought Discord. They are still their own thing. It's just minority investment. It's like, hey, we'll rub your back and give you a little bit of that.
My hope for this is that Discord becomes the voice chat platform that Sony implements, going forward. Like they use it on the PS5.
That would be nice.
Ideally, I would love it if I was playing crossplay, which is a weird thing to say given the last story we did, but crossplaying with someone and being able to tell them like, hey, you're on your PC, hop on Discord, I'll hop on Discord with you via my PlayStation, and we can, there's no complicated setup. I can just talk through the mic on my DualSense. They can use whatever they have on their PC, and it's seamless. That is the future that I want. Yeah, because right now, and to be fair, PS5 and PS4 voice chat is pretty good. Like, it sounds all right. But, if you are in a crossplay situation, you have to go through the game's servers, and those are almost universally terrible.
Right. Yeah, and I've seen a few people saying, well, I hope PlayStation or Sony doesn't ruin Discord. Again, this is a minority stake. I don't think you have to worry too much about them ruining Discord at large. But it sure, as I said earlier, even though it doesn't change the fact that Nintendo wouldn't do something like this anyway, it does make the lack of Nintendo also investing in some sort of solution with Discord a shame. It definitely puts that in starker contrast.
For sure.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our final story of the day, and it's just a major accomplishment.
This is incredible.
Because a player has successfully captured every single shiny Pokemon.
How?
Wow.
How in the world? Man.
They posted on Twitter that just going through their home, and you can see all their shinies. Even Junichi Masuda commented on this post, being like, "Holy crap, that's amazing!" Because I've not watched the video myself, but I assume that means all the regional variants as well. And apparently, you have to play through some. It isn't just one version. You got to play through other versions. So they might have been working on this over time, but my God,
well, the resets on the legendaries alone is what I keep thinking about.
Right.
And like, I don't want to be that
God,
guy.
He has every known shiny as well.
Like, I don't want to be that guy, but it's like I still have an action replay on my DS.
Right. Well, and I just I don't know if I'm kind of like a casual Pokemon fan, so I don't know if the shiny Pokemon rate changes from generation to generation. But right now, what I'm looking at, it says it's one in every 8,192 Pokemon encounters is the chance of seeing a shiny. Would you extrapolate that to the almost 1,000 Pokemon that I can't. How did this happen?
I'm sure, I'm sure most of them, like non-legendaries especially, they were probably using the Masuda method in terms of regional breeding and all that sort of thing with a shiny charm.
Okay.
But assuming they didn't, I mean, let's assume worst case. Like, I don't know about any of that. Let's go with the original odds here.
Yeah.
How do you find the time to do that sort of thing?
Yeah. That's where I get really I mean, I think about when I was at the height of my ability to play games unhindered, right? That's like 15, 16 years old. Like, my responsibilities in life included eating pizza, sleeping a lot, and playing video games, and I still don't think I could have done something like that. I remember getting all 151 original Pokemon by totally cheating and just swapping with my buddy. He'd come over, we'd plug in link cables, we'd trade so that we'd get the entry in our decks and be like, "Yep, got it, jackpot." That was it. But even that
you really needed to do.
Yeah, I beat Pokemon.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
I've played somewhere.
I've played every Pokemon or every gen except for Gen 8, and I've got almost a max dex in Gen 4, and I've never even seen one shiny over my years of playing Pokemon.
Whoa,
Not
really?
Similar story. I've encountered one shiny Pokemon. I was grinding it for my Pokemon Nuzlocke for Crystal. And as I was playing, a freaking actual shiny Graveler showed up that proceeded to self-destruct.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Wow!
Oh
never
no!
had a shiny.
I've never had an actual shiny, like a natural shiny encounter.
Really?
Yeah,
I have
no
joke. The only
I've never
shiny,
specifically shiny hunted either. I just going naturally through. Like if it shows up, it'll show up, but it never does.
Those are the best
only
ones.
shiny I have, and I just got stupid lucky. I didn't know it was a shiny. It was a shiny Mewtwo, and I was like,
"What?
This Mewtwo is green." So I was like, "Master Ball that bitch!" And then I googled it. I was like, "Green Mewtwo." I was like, "Oh."
I guess I'm never hitting the lottery now.
Yeah, exactly.
There are a few people in the chat pointing out red Gyarados. I was talking about natural shinies.
Oh, it's like the red Gyarados doesn't count.
I'm specifically talking about natural shiny encounters. Yeah. But that's just. I love how
I think the only shiny I've still gotten off the top of my head, because I don't remember all my playthroughs between. So I reviewed Pokemon Generation 2 over, close to 10 years ago. And we made a gag at Ted's expense that he had the worst luck with shinies. And no kidding, I ran into a shiny Rattata while recording footage for that review. I was like, we got to put that in the script and rub it in his face. But I think that was legitimately the last shiny I ran into in a random encounter. It's been that long. It is insane.
It really is. And even our dear friend John Cartwright responded to Push Dustin's quote tweet about this, saying, "Me struggling to find even one, or to even find one." It's it's so true. This guy that's amazing. Just the raw calculation. If you just take all the other methods out of it, the raw mathematical calculation. I don't even know what it is. I'm not a math guy, but it's obscene how long this would take. But
I remember
shout outs.
Jay Witz was chronicling his love of Wooloo and wanting a shiny Wooloo before he moved on with his playthrough of Sword and Shield. Wooloo is really early. And I still think it took him a week or so of constant shiny hunting to finally get the shiny Wooloo so he could have that to actually play the rest. It's ridiculous.
Man, the patience it must take. I mean, look, I spent 15 minutes over the weekend in Yakuza Like a Dragon trying to find a silver rhinoceros beetle, I think, for a part-time hero quest. And I was annoyed after 15 minutes of that one thing, and I was going to give up. I found it within that 15 minutes, thankfully. But I don't even know how you have the patience to do something like this.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
That's just wow.
Where was it? Here we go. I'm missing it. I missed it, but I'm so sorry. I've lost track of your name. But somebody in here. There's first of all, Synchro Lord, shiny Groudon first try, ran out of balls. Another person, their very first encounter in, I think it was Omega Ruby, was a shiny Pokemon.
Wow.
What a way to start that.
And then they run into every other version of that Pokemon. I was like, oh, this one must be special. It's different from the one I saw last time.
Oh, God. That's amazing. crazy achievement. Who knows exactly what it all went into to actually get all these shinies. But at the very least, whether or not they got every one of them or not, it's a crazy amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool though. Like I am so happy for this person because after all that time that you put in, you have to imagine this person was elated to be able to announce that they did this. It's an awesome achievement. I'm happy for anyone that sets their
and then they have to start over with Gen 9.
I know, right? Like, I wonder if that person just washes their hands of Pokemon after that. They're like, did it? I'm out.
Yeah.
Thank God that Legends isn't out.
At one point, I had them all. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I said that like 20 years ago after getting every Pokemon in Gen 1. That's it.
I mean, that was
put it out your little Game Boy printer, and I have it like get it printed out and all that.
I think I got all. I completed the Pokedex in Gen 2, and that was the last time I bothered doing it.
Yeah, it's too much, man. It's such a time sink. But it's for some folks, Pokemon is their favorite thing, and I get that. I definitely spent a lot of time trying to 100% Breath of the Wild. I'll definitely do it again with Breath of the Wild 2. So hey, more power to you. If that's what you like, that's what you like.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. And with that, I believe we've covered all the major headlines from today's news. But before we sign off, Johnny, where can we find you at?
Okay, guys. I'm SomeCallMeJohnny. I do video game reviews for a living, and you can find me over at youtube.com/SomeCallMeJohnny. My move has successfully finished, and I'm back to working on the next video for my Final Fantasy marathon. It's the original Final Fantasy III for the Famicom and the DS re-release. 16 years in the making, and I'm gonna have fun with that video. Just gonna put that out there right now, and take that for what you will. But I'm looking forward to catching you then and there. And I want to take some time to thank you guys for once again inviting me to the season 2 opener of a GVG. I did not know you guys did seasons. That's awesome. Maybe
we
I
didn't for a long time either.
We didn't either.
Yeah, we didn't either.
Yeah.
We're doing this whole thing. Let's brand it season 2. Why not?
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
I mean, you
No,
technically
dude,
have
thank you so
seasons.
much.
Every time you have a new opening, that's a new season.
That's what I convince myself. That's what I'm doing. Sure.
Yeah.
Did you want? By the way, did you want to promote that animation you're voicing in?
Yeah, sure. So a couple of days ago, Michael Cook launched the Kickstarter for Chucky Chicken, and I'm voicing a character for that cartoon. It's a small web series that they're working on. A lovely bunch of talented folks behind the scenes. I could spend all night talking about it, but they launched the Kickstarter for a couple of days ago, and unfortunately, I did not have the link ready to go on standby. But if you want to look on my Twitter feed at SomeCallMeJohn or look up Chucky Chicken on Kickstarter, you can find the Kickstarter link there. It just launched a couple of days ago. I think the goal is $25,000, and we managed to raise a couple of bucks for it, and we still got up 2 months to go.
Nice.
So hopefully that all turns out, because this is kind of the first time getting into voice acting, and I'm terrified because this is so out of my circle. But
Nice.
I'm looking at it as another chapter in my life, another challenge for my life, and hoping things work out for the best.
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
I find it so funny that Mike Pollock is in that as well. It's like how.
That's so
oh my god! So just
You
a
can't
small
escape Sonic, John.
small. And it's not even that. So the fact that Mike Pollock is in that circle is one thing, but you see, I know Mike Pollock from different things. I've talked with the man on a number of other things for different unrelated stuff. But when you're inside the same room for voice acting, it's like you're no longer with Mike Pollock the dude. You're with Mike Pollock the voice actor. And I was petrified. I was like, why am I scared? Because I know who this guy is, but now I'm in his circle. And I was like, I hope I say funny thing right. And I'm an absolute mess.
That's so cool, though, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And I hopefully maybe we'll end up in something together someday, because I'm actually doing the same thing right now. I'm trying to kind of break into doing more voice acting.
Okay.
You know, kind of following in my dad's footsteps a bit. So,
Sure.
hey, maybe we'll do something together. You never know.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Then we'll
good
fight
luck
for the
to you,
role.
man.
And it's like, all right, winner takes GVG.
Hey, what? Wait.
Damn, this just got really serious.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted to collaborate, man.
I'll see you in
Jeez.
court. I'll see you in court. It has an internalized review of Last of Us 2, and they're
love
like, what's that doing?
But no, good luck to you, man. All the
Thank
best
you
in your
very
endeavors.
much, Ash. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
Brilliant stuff. But of course, we also have to give a special thanks to all of our patrons, big and small. You really do make this. And I also have to do a special expansion to everybody who had a super chat today. I'm sorry, I'm still figuring this out, so I apologize for not reading every super chat to bring up. I'm not sure if it would mess with the flow or not, but I did see them, and I really do appreciate all of them. We all do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We all saw the super chats.
Incredible in that way. We're figuring, it's season 2. We're still figuring things out. We're going to make it that way. But either way, we thank you so much for all of your support. And of course, a special thanks to our patrons at the producer tier, as this show wouldn't be possible without all of you. And of course, a massive thank you to our executive producers and above. And for those of you who have not seen any of our live shows, we have something special behind the scenes that you might have caught wind of as we transitioned out. And that's a special little thing called Shake That Ash that kind of became ridiculous.
Get ready.
Because he danced and Ash joined in, and now Ash just dances for all of these EP readings. So, I present you our wonderful list of EPs and Ash dancing.
All right.
So, thank you to Jared Edinger, Brandon Bovia, Rob Rman X, Itiono Ben, Dan and Twistle, Dennis J, Z Patty, Hyrule Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Adam O'Sullivan, It's ATM, Octopuppet, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, Floating You, Aiko Carroll, Christopher, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Nick Waterman, Kitty Kong Fax, Angel Martinez, Vedran Hotik, Macalau, John, Joshua Hunter, Evernight Studio, Benny Yao, Alicia, Azran127, Ken Roulette 09, Jake Pelka, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Charlie Bird, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Douglas Chomix, Andrew Medeiros, RMM, Patrick Harrison, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Fizzy Wakehoid, Flaming Highwayman, Sean Garrett, The Legend of Groose, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, West Egg, Master Links, Sean Davis, Deaneth, Jackson Jordan, Michael McCall, Matthew Wong, Ashish Joshi, Goran Amber, Straight Lace, Hoobie, Wolf X Blake and Moon Macarons, Kane, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Ravelox, Synchro Lord, Brainchild, Rosa Bowling.
Hi, Mom. Whoa.
It's back to teenage years.
Apparently.
Kotar Peck, Scuff 196, Skull Kid Tiger, AJB Cool, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, Wheezy Penguin, Anthony Wilson Jr., Sakuragi, Tariq, Stephen Nelson, and 112, our 2 newest executive producers. Thank you so much. And remember that if you want to become a patron, you can join it over at patreon.com/GV Gaming, where you can get access to our exclusive post-show and ad-free content for as little as $5 a month. And hey, if you want to make Ash dance even longer, you could become an EP that is at $25. We'll also have 2 gameplay sessions with all of you. We recently had Smash Brothers. Let's make this man dance as long as we can.
Yeah,
So,
let's do it.
Yeah. Dance
I live in
is all the
K-Town.
same.
I eat a lot of Korean barbecue. I need the exercise, so please. The longer this list goes, the better for me in my daily Shake That Ash exercise.
Wow.
Perfect. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Gaming for more good times like these. So until next time, good night and good vibes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.